our siblings, and our children. Today we dedicate this Mass in honor of our families and all those who are family-like to us. We also offer this Mass in thanksgiving to the Catholic Church, who is a mother to us, bringing us closer to faith and closer to God. Now, we have all heard of general norms of what the role of a father, a mother, and the children are. Now, if you look into the common definition, you will see the job of a father would be to defend and protect his family from anything in the world that would destroy it. Again, the role of a mother would be to create and nourish the family, create the home and nourish the family. And that is children who are the center of the family, that they may be the love around which that family revolves. So we have this old definition which would explain as to what the role of families are. But today's times, roles change. You can see differences in roles. Experiences have taught me sometimes that probably the role of the dad might be taken by the mom, and the role of the mom taken by the dad, vice versa, depending on their situation. For example, families that have a parent who is probably handicapped, or has other kinds of physical or mental disabilities, and thereby switching of roles. Now, it is said in every human being, as we see in psychology, that we have a cap, meaning we have a child in us, we have an adult in us, and we have a parent in us. We all take the nature of these three roles in our lives. So starting with the child itself, you can see a child itself would have these three characters. A child would behave like a child, of course. A child can behave like an adult at times. And yet again, a child can behave like a parent. Now, those of you who are parents, you will very well know where your child comes to you and gives you advice and says, "Dad, don't do that." Now, that is how you symbolically see this characteristic within a child itself. Now, we have sometimes where parents can behave childlike. In India, we have a saying where we say, those who are 6 and those who are 60 behave the same. So, it brings us back to understanding ourselves, understanding the role of the family. Now, none of us chose our family. And many of us have had moments in our lives where we questioned and said, "Lord, why did you put me into this crazy family? Why did you give me this crazy dad? Why did you give me this crazy mom? Why did you make me so?" It need not be a whole lifelong miserable question that we ask, but there might have been a split of a moment where we had that feeling and said, if only it were another family. There might have been times when our family members might have compared us with our neighbors' kids and said, "My son, look at that family, look at the boys there, how well they do. Why can't you be like that?" Now, whenever we see all these comparisons, the reality and the fact that God has planned and sent you to that family is unquestionable. God chose you and chose your family so that you may grow up to be the person that you are today, based on the circumstances and based on the family that He has chosen and sent you to. So there is no doubt that the family has a major role to play for us, except of course in cases of children who are parentless, orphans, or those who have been lost. So in general, we can say that our families have made us who we are. Now, if I were to define a family, I would try to choose, as often seen in many places, where we would say the family is where father and mother together, where the child says, "I love you." In short meaning, every family is based on one common foundation, the foundation of love. Children are not born automatically. You don't plant a seed and give water to it and say, "Sprout up." It is born out of the result of the love shared by the dad and the mom, who choose to allow their love to bear life. Now these again are the properties of marriage. In marriage, a question that's asked is about the importance of faithfulness, about commitment, the responsibility to bring up children, and the openness to let love flow into life. So today when we reflect about families, we are asked to look at ourselves. Have I given the maximum love that I can give? And have I been open to receiving the love that has been offered to me? Have I been able to see and share in the nature of my God who is love? God is love. Have I shared in His nature? And have I been able to say, I've got plenty of love within me, I've got to give it even more. And the reality of love, the nature of love is this, that the more you give, the more it grows, the more it flourishes, the more it is nurtured within you and to those who you offer it. Now, when we think about love, we are called to ask ourselves, do I see the nature of Christ as I see in the Holy Family? In St. Joseph, in Mother Mary, in baby Jesus? Do I see that nature of love? There is no boss in a family. There is no one who rules over the other. There is no one who takes charge and says, I am the best. It is always a give and take. The beauty of a family is where they understand one another, they discover one another day by day. We know there can be no couple who could say, I know my husband, I know my wife. Try asking their parents who brought them up for 17 to 25 maybe years of age. The parents would say, my son, I know you very well, while the son within his heart would say, you have no clue of who I am. Because we have a life at home, and we have a life out of home. We have matters that we reveal to our parents, and there are matters that which we don't reveal to our parents. So, even our own parents, when they do not know us completely, no husband or wife, however strong the love may be, can know completely who their husband or wife is. And that's why I call marriage a discovery. Each and every moment of your life, when you discover more and more about your life partner. And even beautiful is the nature of young parents who receive a child for the first time. All the anxieties that they go through, all the confusions. I've had a number of young parents who call the priest and ask, Father, we don't know what to do, the child is crying. What answer will the priest give? I'm sorry, my experience, my qualification is not good enough to answer that. And so the next act that a priest will do is call up one of the lolas, call up one of the grandmas nearby and say, can you answer to that? There have been a number of times where in India I've called my own mom and said, Mom, I'm stuck with no answers, and I believe you're the only one who can answer this. And I referred her number to the family who called me and say, please call her, she could help you. This is the beauty of family. I've had a number of families who are immigrants here, who are having their first child here and all alone with no family or relatives nearby. And the first thing that comes to their mind is, if I'm going to deliver, to be sure I bring my mom or someone from home so that they can be with me during that process of delivery. To be sure to help me and to guide me so that I may do the right thing, that I may be careful with my child. And this, I believe, is the nature of love. We have a lot of lovely kids around here right now. These children are our future. If any parent has given us anything in our life that we cherish, I believe it's the good witnessing, the good example, the good models that our parents have taught us. If anything we have inherited in our lives and we are proud of it, it is these models that we have been taught at home. Now, what do we do with our children? Do we choose to just say, okay, in their case they don't understand anything, and just stay back? Or do we choose to say, no, my child, every answer you ask, I will be there to answer you. A child would have millions of questions, and probably within 1 hour itself. What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? And probably the same thing you said would be asked again. But there, as parents, your patience allows you to say, it's this. you answer them. Because your love gives you the strength. No matter how irritating it may be, you are open to them because your love is so powerful. The love that you have for your child. The child grows up to be a teenager. The age of 14, one of the worst times, I would say, where a teenager can be so painful for you. Still, you are tolerant with them. You bear with them, no matter what. You are there for them because you love them. This teenager grows up to be a young person and probably leaves home. I've had cases of parents last 5 years who have called me and said, Father, could you be kind enough to call my son and tell him to phone me at least once a month. It's easy for us to say that we live in a culture where family is not important. Brothers and sisters, don't point the finger outside. Let's ask ourselves, do I cherish my family? Am I proud of my family? Do I take an effort or make an effort to build that family? No matter how far we may be. We are not in the olden times where we have joint families, where the granddads, the grandparents, or that generation, or 4 or 5 generations living together. Not possible. We live in a nuclear world today. Dad, mom, children, full stop. And when they turn of age, they leave, and it's just dad and mom. And again, when they turn of age, it might be just dad or mom. In this age, I believe, the only one value that can hold us together is the bond of love in the families. Let's teach our younger generation, let's teach our children the value of love. It was beautiful to see at Christmas, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, beautiful to see families coming together. It was beautiful to see how the parents, the dad and the mom, were stubborn, they were stuck on that area and said, no matter what, you are coming with me to church today. Today is Christmas, and it's a day for the family. And I admonish the parents for that. I give all my credit or all my appreciation to the parents for that. Because that precisely is the value of life. The value of family, where we make it, no matter how stubborn or how angry they may be, where we are stern on that and say, my child, family comes first. Family comes first. Today, if there is any message at all, I believe it is a message where the Holy Family is teaching us to call upon God as our Heavenly Father, and seeing us all, how strangers we may be to one another, seeing us all as part of one big family. Today we will pray and sing a song which I'll sing for you once, and we'll sing it together and ask the Lord to teach us about the value of being in a family, where He is the dad for us, we are all His children, one big family. God, I wonder how I managed to exist without the knowledge of your parenthood and your love. With this faith, we rise before the Lord and profess our faith as we pray. I believe in God,
Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ,